Hey guys, welcome to Executive Espresso, caffeinated conversations at the intersection of business and psychology. And let me tell you, I'm sweating today, but it's because I just finished my morning run. But a lot of companies and employees are sweating at the advent of AI. But don't worry about that because we have Sharon from Explorers of AI. That's at Explorers of AI on the X platform. Check her out there. And today we're going to be talking about the big topics of ethical AI deployment, AI and job automation. Is AI really going to gobble up all the jobs and all the careers and all the success that people might have had in the future without it and all of the retirement plans? We'll find that out. And then finally, what about AI when it comes to personalization, using AI and our privacy. And so let's get Sharon up here. Sharon, it's great to have you here today. Thank you for taking time out of your day. So tell us about this X account that you have, because one of the things that caught my attention is it's called, I think, Explorers of AI, but AI Wonders. So my question is, why should people come to believe that AI is a wonder instead of something that's just freaking worrisome?
Oh my gosh. I've been researching AI for a while now, for over a year, and it has changed so much in my personal life and also in my business endeavors. It has accelerated the processes for me, and it's wonderful. We have never had access to such a technology, and I think everybody should dive into it. It's changed a lot, and we can talk about it. Definitely.
Yeah, yeah. So to get started here, what does it mean when we talk about AI systems that are, not just innovative, but also ethical? It really never dawned on me about the ethical use of AI. So, what are some of the dangers there, and what are some ways that employers that are using AI can do that ethically?
Well, these things have a lot of information instilled in them, and it really depends on how you prompt these machines. Of course, they can give out inaccurate information and unethical. That's a big, big, big topic because what might be unethical for you might not be unethical for me. So that is a very, very huge topic that does need attention. Of course, it depends on who is working with these machines. It's you can give these machines a certain you can give these machines instructional prompts on how they respond to you. So you can kind of personalize these LLMs for sure. So that they give you the responses that are ethical to you. It really depends on how you prompt it and how these machines are programmed. Just just to keep it simple.
I just had a referral last week of someone who lost their job because
Hmm.
of in-cab cameras. So a lot of trucking companies now are putting cameras not only forward facing but facing into the vehicles so they can see if their associates are adjusting the radio, eating a pizza, or usually texting on a cell phone. So I think that AI is going to get into especially the transportation industry and start monitoring employee behavior. I think also it's going to get into healthcare. I was talking on a executive espresso interview here just recently about how companies already monitor employee health, because if you have a lot of unhealthy employees that are obese, overweight, smoking, using drugs or whatever, that's not free to the company that employs them. The insurance company will, spike their insurance premiums. And so I think that you're going to see AI monitoring employees for all kinds of reasons. I think that utilization review, how well are we doing with the time and the money we're given as employees? So, what tips might you give employers for kind of keeping employees in the loop so they're just not freaking out and departing en masse from their jobs?
So that would be an ethical question, right? How far will we let AI into our? I mean, that seems to me like a form of micromanagement. I am not really a fan of that, to be honest. I haven't heard. I did hear that. Yeah, I heard that from a friend. I'm not a fan of that. I do believe that AI can definitely support when it comes to, you know, giving out information and help for employers to make their employees more happy, more healthy at the workplace. But going as far as a camera on me, I'm
It's
not a
kind of
fan of
creepy, huh?
that. It is. It is. I have to be honest. You know, there are always two sides to AI. There are going to be things that we might not like, and there will be things that we do really enjoy. And we have to find that middle line. I would definitely have a talk with my employer if that were the case for me. I would not be a fan of that,
I
to be
like that,
honest.
and I think that two-way communication between employers and employees is probably one of the best things we can do in any setting,
Mm,
and to express to your employer, what you're okay with, what you're not okay with, and honestly, if you're with an employer and they start leveraging AI, maybe that's just not the job for you. I don't think
exactly.
it's really kind of a tsunami. I mean, I don't think there's any way to really stem the tide. But I think that we can put on our life jackets and have our flotation devices and our oars and life rafts at the ready. And I think that that's going to require some education. I've been doing EAP programs for a long time, employee assistance programs. And one of the things I like to do is collaborate with the employer and the employee so they're on the same page when it comes to policy and when it comes to procedure. I find that most disagreements between employers and employees is just because one set of people have the information and the other set of people don't. And that can go either way. Sometimes, yes, it's the employer that has the information about a policy, a procedure. They probably wrote it or paid somebody to write it. But sometimes it's the employees. So I would encourage employers to realize that your employees have a wealth of wonderful information. So I would recommend some sit downs, some one on ones, some breakout groups, some focus groups within your company to talk about this before it becomes an issue in your company. Now, on that point, let's talk about just really quickly how you see AI maybe reshaping the workforce. What are some other things that leaders can do to kind of ease that transition, and any kind of psychological impact you've noticed AI has on you, your friends, your family, folks that that have jobs out there where AI may be impacting it.
Well, I haven't really heard from any friends that AI. We're still quite early, I would say. So people are still figuring it out, and so I mean, my recommendation would be for both sides. I mean, like you just said, it needs to be. You want everybody to be happy. You want everybody to be productive, efficient. Of course, there are companies that are profit driven and they want to make sure that the numbers are right. But numbers is not everything. And AI replacing jobs. Now, we need to think about this. I really don't know how far this is going to go. I think no one knows since this is all new and we're all starting. But for me personally, I have been diving really deep into educating myself on what these AI systems are capable of and what they can do. And I think that is the most important part of it all. So if I were an employer, I would educate my people on it. We would sit together and we would research and study this and see how it can help us all as a whole to get to the next step, to get to the profits we want, to get to the happy workplace that we're looking for. I, as an employer, would not just go ahead and fire my whole staff because I'm like, AI can do it. Because what if AI makes mistakes?
Mm.
AI does still make mistakes. Things can go wrong. And then you're going to try to reel your employees back in, and then they don't want to come back because they found a better job. So for me, it would be coming together, discussing this, education, learning, that would be very, very important.
I think that's great advice because I think that with new tech, we tend to be very impulsive and we think because
Hmm.
it's new, it must be better. Some things are, but
Hmm.
just because it's new doesn't mean it's better. I remember in my undergrad career, I had to have a job. I was just a poor college student. I went to work at a chicken factory. We literally shoveled chickens all night long. And the higher ups are just beside themselves because they got a robot. Now, this is in the early 80s, and they had a
Hmm.
robot that would put chicken dinners together. But what the robots are really good at was crushing the chicken dinners into a soccer sized ball and throwing them on the floor, you know. So it's back to, you know, relying on flesh and blood employees. And so I like the way the conversation is going because I do think it's collaboration and synergy. But on that point, you're an AI expert, so how can people that aren't AI experts start teaching themselves about this new technology?
Well, my first tip would be just start. Just start prompting these LLMs, maybe AI images. I know there's a lot of talks going on there too. Um, that might not be very positive because a lot of people are like, these AI machines are copying the images from artists and stuff. I would say just start prompting an LLM. There are many platforms out there that you can use. You can even use them for free and just figure out what it can do for you. I have an AI magazine. We do a lot of research. We inform people, newbies, AI enthusiasts, small businesses, but we also educate the people. So I have learned so much new skills within a year, and I'm excited. I'm excited about it. So people need to just start. And you guys can DM me if you have any questions, if you're not sure how to get started. I'm here to help. I'm here to
That's
help.
awesome.
That's why I'm doing it. I'm a mind body educator and I still do it. But as AI came out and ChatGPT was announced to the public, I'm like, I have to dive into this because I know that it's going to have an impact on society. And I want to be part of shaping this future. So you guys feel free to DM me anytime.
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah. Please do that, and I'm sure we're all going to bug the crap out of you. So get ready. But when it comes to personalization and privacy, just kind of wrapping up, and then we're going to do some rapid fire questions for Sharon here to
Mhm.
share some of her own personal insight with us on her life and how she keeps her mindset healthy. But I begin to notice on help desks are using AI. I just got on Amazon the other day and I interacted. I didn't even know they had it with an Amazon AI that said it could solve my problem. And I'll have to be honest, I'm just very biased. The first thought in my head is no, 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 no. Give me a real person. Enough of this crap. Look, just give me a freaking real person. And so the other thing is, what is that AI going to do with whatever I tell it? You know, now it's
Mm.
really kind of ironic because as I'm speaking, I do remember, I mean, I know that when I call help desk, it'll give me a alert that we record our phone calls for customer service training. But you know, psychologically, there's just something different about that because that's kind of become just noise that I can ignore. But when thinking about typing in my information, especially when medical facilities start using AIs for patients to interact with, there's going to be people typing in that they have all kinds of personal medical problems. So, how do we develop a comfort level and maybe an acceptance of the balance between getting highly personalized service from Amazon or eBay or even a medical practitioner with the concerns over privacy?
The question is, how private was our data beforehand?
Ah,
You know, how if you speak with a business, if you speak with your health provider, if you're on a phone call, I mean, those things can be tracked. already. So the question is, I really do not know. Of course, there are laws and regulations in place that healthcare providers have to keep the data private. And I think they're going to have to keep doing so, even with AI. So if you're interacting with a real human or you're interacting with an AI, there are laws and regulations in place already that protect us. Of course, when it's about health gadgets and stuff, and like you have a lot of people, I don't have an iPhone, but a lot of people have the iWatch, right, where they
Uh,
enter their health
yeah.
data. I mean, that seems to be private too. I don't really interact with any health data. I really don't do that, so I can't say. But I think that Apple keeps this data private. Um,
Yeah,
so we
I
have,
think
yeah.
Sharon, if we aren't careful, we actually agreed to that Apple to have access to our biometrics, our health data,
Hmm.
when we just went and clicked all the buttons because we were
Hmm.
so anxious to start using this brand new baby right here. This is my
Yeah.
new 16 or whatever. And so I think maybe there's some work to be done on not making those contracts so long and cumbersome. Who's going to read that crap anyway? But they're going to have to sneak in some type of AI permission. And also, what you were talking about earlier is HIPAA, the Health Insurance Privacy Portability
Hmm.
Act. And unless somebody knows different, I don't know. I don't think that AI has been sneaked into that legal language so far, but it's going to have to be. But even though it hasn't been snuck in there, HIPAA still applies. And by the way, for you employers out there, just a word to the wise, as my dad used to say. If you're using employee data and you're offering EAPs and health plans and things like that, HIPAA still applies to you. And there's some really hefty fines if you violate it. I do my work every day with great respect that I don't violate HIPAA, and I'm fairly paranoid about it. But by the way, paranoia sometimes can save you from a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. So if you're an employer, know where HIPAA applies to your business, especially when it comes to AI. Well, we're about to run out of time. Just some quick questions. What's your current top mental struggle, Sharon? Your top mental struggle. What are you working on?
So I would say sleep. Sleep.
Me too. What is your best mindset hack? Your current best mindset
Um,
hack?
well, it'd be to just stay calm.
I love it.
You only have two hands. You only
Yep.
have two hands, two eyes, two ears,
And one mouth and one nose with
and
which
one
to
mouth and
breathe.
one nose. Yep.
And so use that
Stay
breath
calm.
hack often. That's my hack. And finally, what did you, before you started digging into AI, what did you most misunderstand about AI?
The technical functioning behind them. That is my struggle.
Mm.
The neural networks, because I am a nerd, I'm a geek, I love to geek out on those things, and that's my struggle at the moment to figure out how these things really work.
And that's a good one. I think we all struggle with that. Well, how can folks get in touch with you?
Oh, definitely on X, Explorers of AI. I also have another handle. It's my LLM News, where I have a monthly subscription to a AI magazine with my friend and co-founder Kirk. And yeah, we do great things in AI, so it's worth following me if you want to learn more about it.
Big things are happening. You guys tune in to Sharon's account and her magazine. And what about a great affirmation, maybe about AI, folks can take into the weekend as we close out our discussion for the day?
Dive in, dive in, start using them, play with them. It is so much fun.
It really, really is. And Sharon, thank you so much for kind of calming some of our nerves down and giving us some different things to think about. You guys, thank you for joining Executive Espresso. We'll be back at the same time next Friday. And until then, have a great week. Thank you
Oh
so much,
gosh.
Sharon.
Thank
Bye bye,
you.
guys.
Thanks so much, Dr. Heath.